everyone, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good day. Hope you are all having an amazing day today. My name is Lex, and welcome back to some more GTA 5, where today we're looking at some more of the new cars added from the latest DLC update thing. And today, we're going to be looking at this beauty right here. And as you can see on the steering wheel, it does say ProGen, which of course is Rockstar's own version of McLaren in most cases. And this car is no exception, because this car is a remake of the McLaren F1. Look at this. This is the McLaren F1 is just such a classic car. It is deceptively small, I would say. Having seen an F1 in real life, they are not as big as you may think. And as you can see by this one, it's just as small as it is in real life. It is a very, very small car. But look at this. What an absolute beauty. So before we get into modifying this thing and also checking it out and all that sort of stuff, because I'm going to be making like 1 or 2 different versions of this with the parts that we have available, there's going to be some comments and questions on the screen. If you would like your comments and questions featured, you can leave them in the comment section below. I'll pick some at random and feature them at the start of the next video. And also don't forget you can follow me on Twitter at Figureight. Links for my Twitter are in the description as always with every video. Right, I didn't get very far. So I guess here is where we're going to be modifying this one today. Let's just pull up. In fact, we need to get out in the sunlight, so let's just do it right here. And actually, I'm a bit concerned because this man with the gun has just approached me. Okay, right. It's a good thing that I have invincibility, isn't it? And I've started a gang war. This is not how I intended the video to go. In fact, my aim is terrible. I'm just going to get out of here. It is so good that I have invincibility on right now. And what could be more civilized than a place like that than a big, large, open sewer? Actually, is this an open sewer? What is the story with this place? Because I know this is based on real life LA. When I was in LA, I actually never saw this part of LA. Is this... It's not supposed to be an open sewer, is it? It's just like an empty riverway. I don't know the story about that. If you guys know, leave a comment. Or I'll probably just search myself after I make this video. So, right, let's just go to repair vehicle. And let's have a look around at this beautiful car. So this is the ProGen GP1, I believe, or just the ProGen GP. There it is. It is actually saying GP1 on the badge right there. So this is based on the McLaren F1. I keep wanting to say P1. It's just a natural reflex because I haven't said F1 in a while. It's got very McLaren-style wheels as well, or very F1-style wheels. I can't see any other cars, sort of like with the Infernus, we sort of like saw that it had a bit of a Ferrari in there and Lamborghini. This one seems almost just entirely of just the McLaren. So I don't know what other cars are in here. Maybe I'm missing something. You guys can surely let me know in the comment section below. So onto the interior. Let's just have a look in here. We've got very interesting seats because originally this was a sort of like middle seat car. So this interior is not going to be like the original F1, which is a shame. It would have been nice if we could have had like a middle steering wheel on this one, but maybe that wasn't a thing Rockstar was able to code in. Maybe it just wasn't something that would happen. So we got all the speedos there. That goes up to 190 miles an hour. Got a lot of fuel, oil, water. Nicely detailed. We've got some carbon fiber around there, and just a nice, simple sort of cutback racing style interior with all these switches up here, and also this bit. Oh, sorry about the camera work. This bit going on down here. There's an odd button that seems to almost be glitched out, unless it's just because it's hovering. That's a weird button. I don't know what that button's supposed to do. But there we go. There's all the interior. Looking pretty sweet. Let's just go ahead and open the boot and the bonnet and see what's underneath. So there's the hood, which is actually the back. Pretty nice. And then is our tiny little trunk at the front. So here we have our hood at the back. And as you can see, what is that? Is that the exhaust? What is that? Is that just like an air vent or something? Oh, right. It's an air vent system. And then we have the rear windows. This is really well and interestingly detailed. And then down there, you can see the engine right there. That is a really wide engine. If they're both the block parts, that's incredibly wide. Unless it's just because this car is really small. But that's pretty interesting. There you can see all the detail going on down there. And then on the tiny little trunk, it's just a little hole. Nothing really exciting in there. Right, let's go ahead and modify this thing and see what we can do to it. So let's jump into menus customs, because again, I should point out with this one, this isn't single player, this isn't in online mode, so I will be using menus customs, and of course I will just be doing this outside in the area like this, because it's so much more interesting modifying here than going to a boring old garage. Menus customs then. So we have no liveries or anything like that I can spot so far. Onto the wheels. Well, the wheels are a little small in this one, but they are very McLaren-like. I'm not sure what other wheels are going to look great on here, but let's just give it a nice quick browse. Oh boy. Okay, so it's actually going to be colouring these in yellow or orange, which is quite cool. Not sure which of these are going to fit, because this is a rather old car, and these wheels are all rather modern. Mind you, actually, this one's not bad. The S-Racer, or maybe the Ground Ride. Maybe let's go for the S-Racer. That's not too bad. That's sort of like a modernised sort of wheel that sort of works for this car. So I'm just going to go for that. On the spoiler, we have what seems like a massive selection. So we've got the 10-degree fixed lift. Oh, actually, I want to test this out. So I'm assuming that that's supposed to be a automatic spoiler. Have we got a nice long runway anywhere? I guess behind us. Yep, here we go. Let's see if this lifts up if we go over a certain speed. No. Nope, unless we have to be going a lot faster. That seems to just be stuck closed. Yeah, that's just stuck closed. Okay. So that's why we have to modify it ourselves and make it how we want. So we can have the 10-degree fixed lift, the 30-degree fixed lift, interesting, the carbon version of the 30-degree, the branch spoiler, which is the smallest spoiler in existence. That is tiny. Then we have the low-level spoiler, the tuner spoiler. These are all very interesting. That one's actually blending in with the bodywork as well. Very interesting selection on this one. The LM spoiler, the GT wing. In fact, let's just look at these from the side. There's the LM spoiler again. GT wing, LM spoiler and the 30-degree lift, and the LM spoiler with carbon 30-degree lift. Well, I think I'm going to make two versions of this, one extreme, one normal. I'm going to start with the extreme one this time, because normally I do the extreme one afterwards. So I'm not really going to go for this spoiler and lift, because I think that's a bit too weird. But I think the GT wing, or maybe the LM spoiler, which one? The LM spoiler is sort of set back a little bit, but it does suit the car quite well. But then the GT wing doesn't look that out of place, so I'm going to go with the GT wing for our extreme version. Then onto the front, we've got a huge selection. Again, this is actually loads of modifying parts, right? So we have the stock, we have the custom, which actually makes it look like a modern, sort of like electric version of this car. I like that. I like that idea behind that. So we could actually make the other one sort of like a new electric version or something like that, because we can change the engine sound as well to make it sound like an electric car. Maybe we'll do that afterwards. So we have the concept bumper, which is pretty nice. The titled bumper, which I'm not feeling so much. The sports bumper, the tuner bumper, not really feeling these. I quite like how it looks in standard, but I do like the LM bumper. The LM bumper does look nice. Then we have the competition bumper, the contest bumper, and the GT bumper. Okay, I'm going to go for the GT bumper because that suits with the GT wing as well. This is going to be interesting. Moving on to the rear, we have the stock, not too much on the rear. Then we have the carbon trim diffuser and then the shaped diffuser. They're all pretty much similar to the original, but the shaped one has like a little color accent on it, so let's go for that and be different. On the skirts, we have the stock, we have the street, we have the sport, and then we have the custom skirts, which has the line on it again, which I think are going to look great. It just blends it in quite well, and also we have another secondary color on the front one as well, so I think that's going to look quite nice. On the exhaust, we have 19 selections for the exhaust. That seems overkill. Let's see. So we have the stock, we have the dual exit, we have the twin carbon cam, we have the quads. Oh, so they move. We actually have some different things in different places. Then we have the quad carbon. Oh, let's just look at these in closer detail. Look at that. That's nice. Actually, these are really well detailed as well. Just look at that. Then onto the quad carbon accent. Oh, yeah. We might have to come back to that one because that's pretty cool. Then we have them coming out the top bit. Oh, now that's even cooler. So we have the twin outmodded. Then we have the carbon versions. Then we have the sort of bigger carbon ones. And then we have the accent ones. Actually, this is now my favorite. Oh my god, there are so many different combinations. So we have these quad versions with the accents. Then we have sort of like combinations. I guess these are just going to be different combinations of... Yeah, look at that. So, I'm not sure about the exhaust being down the bottom and on the top. I think that's like a bit too much. So I'm thinking, actually not the quad for this one. I'm just going to go for the two big giant cannons with the accent. That one, right there. That's perfect. Then on the chassis, this is going to be the engine cover. So let's have a look around here. Let's see what we can do. So we have the stock, Then we have, oh, is that just, oh, I see. It's actually just that little bootleg bit there. So we have the custom cover. Well, the stock one has the vents, and the custom is sort of smoothed out. Then we have the multi-vented, the deep vented, the glimpse cover. Ooh, that's pretty cool. Then we have the vision cover. Now, actually, that's a point, because the exhausts there are on the top. So if I change exhaust... Okay, they're still there. Right, okay, I thought maybe they might disappear depending on where the exhaust is, but no, that seems pretty normal. So then we have the LM Aero cover, the LM Sneaker cover, the LM cover, which is... Why is this the LM? What changes on the LM? So there's the LM cover. How does that change from, like, that one? Is it just the fact that it's got, like, this tiny little bit here? That little bit makes it the LM? Huh. Well, I quite like that vision cover, but I think the glimpse cover's probably better. Yeah, I'm going to go for the glimpse one, maybe. Just make this nice and extreme. That's pretty cool. Then we have the grille. There are so many things to do. These are going to be on the front, I guess. Yep, there we go. So there's those little catches, or then we have those back ones, or the front ones. I'm going to go for the ones at the back on that one. This is looking amazing. This is actually my favourite one so far. Then we have the hood. Oh my god. This is never ending. This is fantastic. So this is actually the hood on the front. Okay, so it's actually sort of the boot lid. So we have the stock with the little vent. Then we have the custom. Then we have the little carbon one. Then we have a scooped one. Then we have the carbon scoop. Oh, this is the custom vent. That's not so nice. Then we have the slatted vent. The LM hood. The carbon LM hood with the also color bit on, which is... I think that's a bit too much at that point. Then we have the sport hood. The performance hood. The carbon performance hood. And then the GT hood. Well, we have been going GT style, but I think that the carbon performance hood is just a little cooler, so I'm going to go for that one. Then on the fenders, it's still going with the carbon trim mirror. Oh, these are actually the mirrors this time. Well, the stock ones have the little accent on them, don't they? But then we also have the alt accent ones, which are just the ones that have the carbon fiber on them as well. And then we have race mirrors. I'm going to go for the race mirrors because this is the extreme one. Then we have the fenders. Oh my god, this is, again, is this? Oh, it's just more fenders, but actually it's the light covers this time. Yeah, because this is sort of like brand new, Menus mod hasn't had an update. Actually, it did have an update that I noticed just earlier, but I didn't use the update, so maybe they've changed the names for stuff. So we have the stock, then we have the primary color, then we have the carbon, then we have the completely closed off. Oh my god. I sort of like it. I sort of like it in a sort of that's extreme but also cool kind of way. Then we have even more. This is the engine cover this time. So we have the stock roof. Then we have the carbon trim, which almost looks the same. Alright, it's just dark anyway. Then we have the custom cover, which gets rid of the vents. Then we have the aggressive vented cover. Then we have the LM, the vision. Ooh, slatted. Then the large slatted with accents. This is... absolutely fantastic. The amount of detail for mods that have gone on with this car is fantastic. Rockstar have really pulled it out the bag with this one. I'm loving this. So as this is the extreme one, I'm sort of feeling the large slatted ones with the accents just because I like the sort of like accent bit. This is like some sort of like limited edition extreme one with like all the optional extras on it. That's how it's going in my mind. And now it's time to do all the engine, the brakes, the transmission. There are no suspension tuning on this thing. And then we have the turbo. There are no extras on this one. And then it's just a case of changing the paint. The thing is, this color scheme is already perfect. I'm not sure how we're going to improve on this, but let me just go around and see if I can find something. Actually, first of all, I want to check out metal. See, the metal does work. Sort of. Actually, it doesn't go with the orange so much. I think the other color definitely worked a lot better. But that brushed steel and the... yeah, I'm liking that. But let's just try and find something else. Let's go for a metallic this time. See, the black now with the orange does look cool. I do quite like how that looks. I think all these other ones, I'm not sure what other colors are really going to go with the orange unless we started going into the blues. Because all of these don't look so great so far. Yeah, so now we're into the blues, and they sort of go with the orange a bit more, as you can see. But I'm still not entirely sold. Maybe we'll have to go for a different color that isn't orange on this one. Actually, I'm really curious about this ultra blue, because that is really sparkling right now. Let's go for secondary and find a color that matches. In fact, let's go for matte on this one and go for some matte detailing. Maybe we won't find the right colour. Actually, this is probably going to look really weird. Oh my god, that is yellow. That's sort of... I don't know, actually, sort of like matte orange probably works. Do you know what? That works. It's... Some of you are probably going to hate it. I kind of actually do prefer them with the... Like, the not the covers, but just the top cover bits. Do you know what? I'm going to change it back, because it's not entirely selling for me, but I do like how they look in a way. But I'm just going to go for the stock ones on the front, because it was just a bit too much orange. I think this one's pretty nice. That's worked out pretty well. So there we go. That's the first one. This is the extreme one. And that is now done. I'm liking this. I'm liking the huge list of things that Rockstar have added for this car. So many tuning options. We can have so many different combinations of this car. They're all very sort of subtle details, but still absolutely great. So let's go ahead and then work on the more subtle and perhaps more tasteful second version. Okay, so here's our second one that's been spawned in, and it's spawned in with a white secondary and red main, which is really not nice. So I think I might have to change the paint colors on this one first, because I'm not entirely sold on that. So let's just go ahead, jump into menus, customs right here, and go straight down to paints, because I need to get this fixed out first this time. So let's just go for, I reckon, let's go to primary, classic. Let's make this one a really sort of subtle color. Maybe on this one we'll go for the metal. Maybe we'll go for like the brushed black steel. Maybe. I don't know. It's the reflections of the steel that sort of like put me off it most of the time. Maybe we'll just go for a classic. In fact, if we're going to make this more tasteful, maybe we'll just go for like this sort of like sunset red, because I'm pretty sure I've seen a McLaren F1 in that sort of color, or even garnet red. So I'm going to go for garnet red on this one. And then I'm going to make the secondary color. Well, I could have actually made that chrome. That's interesting. I don't think that would have worked for the other one. I do actually really enjoying the other one now that I'm looking at it. That blue and orange just worked really well. Right, I'm going to go ahead and just make the whole thing the same color, I think. So let's just go ahead on wheels. I'm going to keep the stock wheels on this one. But I might change the color. Can we... Ah, that actually changes the accents. Now, I'm not sure if we can change the accents in standard on GT Online. You guys will have to let me know if that's the thing you can change, because I know that menu sort of like overrides it, so I'm not sure if that's allowed. But if we can actually have that in matching garnet red, that's pretty cool. Maybe we can go for the slighter. Actually, no, the more red version just doesn't look great, so we'll just go for the garnet red on that one. Then onto the spoiler, we have a huge selection. Of course, I'm going to try and rush this second one. Just try and find something we can get that's nice and subtle. I quite like the low-level spoiler, but it is a little bit too much, so maybe I'll just go for the 10-inch or maybe even the 30-inch just fixed lift on that one. There we go, I think that'll be enough. Then on the front bumper, I'm feeling, right, because I'm not entirely into this stock one. It's just a little bit too boring. Oh yeah, we were going to go for the electric one, weren't we? Shall I make this into an electric McLaren? I'm going to do that, so we're going to go for that one. Then on the rear, I'm going to go for the carbon diffuser. On the spoiler, I'm going to go back and make this something a little bit different. Maybe something that is more... See, like that low level, that branch spoiler thing, that's sort of enough. I think if we were to make this in some sort of like production quality electric version of the F1. Then onto the skirts. These are probably going to be a little bit too much. I think the street is probably enough, so we'll just keep it on the street one. Mind you, with these stock wheels and the fact that it's actually on this little rise, it does look a little too deep, so I'm going to go without it. On the exhaust, well, it's not supposed to have an exhaust because this is an electric car. So I'm not sure which one of these is going to be the most subtle. Because in fact, subtle is just not part of the description of this car at all. Maybe the dual exit, because that is just, it looks slightly more standard that way. Then on the chassis, that's going to be all this cover at the back. So much to look at. Let's go for the custom cover and get rid of like all the vents on this car. Then on the grille, we can go and keep that smooth as anything. On the hood, let's go for the custom head again, which is actually just going to get rid of that bit on the front. And then on this one, we're going to go for the carbon trimmed. Let's go for the race mirrors. No, if we actually go for the alt accented one, like that one. Yeah, there we go. That's better. Then onto the other fenders, which is actually the top cover. No, wait, which one's this again? Oh, no, these are the lights, aren't they? Right, if we were to keep this just all red. Oh my god, that's really smoothed it out. That's insane. That we're just making this really smooth. And then we'll go ahead and use the custom cover on the top as well, just to make that as smooth as possible. And then it's just a case of upgrading all of this. But we're also going to be changing the sound of the engine with this one. So actually, should we change this away from the red and make this sort of, I don't know, actually, what color would you sort of associate with like a stock electric car? I don't think there is sort of a color. I don't know. Let's just keep it with the garnet red, shall we? We've already picked the color. Let's just leave it at that. But all we have to do now is go to engine sound, and then I need to find, where is it? The Voltic. There we go. There's the, that's the rocket Voltic. I guess that might have a rocket sound on it. Let's find out if this one does. Let's go. Nope, that's pretty much just the electric car. Well, there we go. We've made an electric version. I would like for you guys to let me know, do you like this super smooth? Look at that. That is incredibly smoothed out. That is really futuristic, but also sort of like a 80s version of futuristic. That is so cool. Let me know in the comment section which one of these you prefer. Maybe you like the electric one, maybe you like the extreme one, maybe you just like it in its standard form. I really liked the extreme one, but I'm sort of like, I'm quite behind this idea of the electric one with the super smoothed out front end. It's kind of like something cool and different, so I'm going to say this is my winner, but you guys can let me know in the comment section below. But that's going to be it for this video today. If you've enjoyed this video, just please let me know, rating, commenting, subscribing, all that sort of stuff. And I shall see you all next time, where I've got 2 more cars from the latest update to check out, so you can check those out in future videos. But that will be it for this one. So I'll see you all next time. Goodbye.